What's up, family? Aho Mitakuye Oyasin. I'll explain what I just said a little later in this video. And in the notes, I'll show you how to pronounce it and what it means. I want to have this conversation with you guys because it's extremely important to me that we have this conversation. When people see me, they see me as an African American man. But I'm also Native American. On my mom's side, my grandmother was Blackfeet. On my dad's side, my grandmother was Cherokee. I am just as much Native American as I am African American. Just because you don't see that doesn't mean that I'm not. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Oftentimes we see what we want to see. And we only see what we want to see. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Please understand that this is not a divisive video. This is not about putting any group down, any belief system down, or anything of that nature. That's not what I'm about in any way, shape, or form. I am all about unifying the people. Again, me-tah-koo-yay Oyasin. You'll understand what that means shortly. I spent a lot of time on a local Indian reservation, spending time with my elders, learning as much as I could about the different tribes. One of the men that I spent probably one of the greatest amount of time with became my mentor. And I would drive an hour and a half just to go sit down and visit with him and just chop it up with him. And before he passed away in 2018, he gave me this book, An American Genocide, the United States and the California Indian Catastrophe. This book's over 600 pages. The book broke my heart. I couldn't read it all at once. I had to put it down and read it in increments because it talked about so much of what Native Americans went through. If you know me, you know that I have a passion for Kung Fu. I love Kung Fu. Everything is Kung Fu to me. Everything. And because I have an affinity for Kung Fu, I've studied Taoism and Buddhism extensively. I love the Asian culture. I love it. I studied it extensively. I spent 3.5 months in China, traveling all over China. I've been to the Wudang Mountains. I've studied and stayed at Shaolin. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to South Korea, Japan, Okinawa, because I have a passion, I have a love and appreciation for the Asian culture. Interesting thing, the more I studied of the Asian culture, the more I realized it was so similar and is very similar to the Native American culture. Say again, the more I studied about the Asian culture, the more I realized that it was very similar to the Native American culture. Why am I having this conversation? There's a Native American tribe, the Lakota tribe, and they have a prayer, me-tah-koo-yay Oyasin. That's the prayer. It is probably, to me, one of the most profound prayers. That prayer says, we're all one. We are all one. What does that mean? That means that we have to stop the divisive rhetoric. That means that we have to stop judging people because you don't look like me, you don't talk like me, you don't dress like me, you're not from where I'm from, you don't eat what I eat, you don't believe what I believe. We've allowed everything to divide us. We are so divided right now. Whether it's political, whether it's religious crap, whether it's whatever. We're so freaking gender. We're so divided right now. We are all one. I love that prayer because it's a reminder that, hey, you know what? We have to stop judging each other. We have to stop being so dogmatic. We have to be more loving. We have to be more accepting. We have to be more tolerant. We have to learn to take the time to listen to each other with an open heart, with an open mind, so that we can learn from each other. Because when we're able to learn from each other, we're able to appreciate the differences. Not that one group is better than another group. Simply that one group may bring something different to the table. A different experience, a different perspective. My hope and prayer is that we can stop the foolishness. We have to stop the foolishness. For the sake of humanity, we have to stop this foolishness. And what am I talking about foolish? This judgment, this arrogance. Your religious group is better. Your religious group is more right. And your eating habits is more right. You're vegetarian, you're whatever, vegan, you're this, that. We allow everything to divide us. Everything. You're liberal, you're conservative, whatever. And we have to stop the foolishness. We have to stop the foolishness. We have to learn to put all of that crap aside and come together for the sake of humanity. For the sake of humanity. Because we're all one. We are all one. Whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're all one. I call everybody my brother, my sister. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what your political beliefs are. It doesn't stop you from being my family. It doesn't stop you from being my brother. It doesn't stop you from being my sister. I love you guys. Happy healing.